Turned out it was Bruce Springsteen before his album came out.
Right.
Of course
I
it was
thought-
Bruce. Who else would it be, right?
I thought the Rolling Stones. They did that in Manhattan, I think.
Yeah, but they were the Rolling Stones then. This was Bruce when he was just before his album came out.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Wow.
pretty
You
amazing.
did drugs with Ron Wood.
Let's not talk about
Is
many,
Ron Wood-
many times.
Is he sober yet?
Yes.
According to someone who knows him well, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe his teenage wife talked him out of it.
Nah, it's only a 32-year age gap. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's nothing between friends.
No. It's all good.
God, between that and my friend saying to me the other day that all my work-related stories are 30 years old.
Well, that was the last time.
Oh.
That was the last time you had a job.
That was the last time I worked for someone else was like 1992.
I got fired once. That was the last time I worked in '74.
Well, he died this week, so.
But the best part is being self-employed and firing yourself. That is actually fun.
I've been trying to get her to fire me for years.
No. Her firing you is different. It's when you need to
Lots of
realize to take a new direction and you have to stop what you're doing and actually say, okay, let go of this. I'm doing that.
That's hard. Yeah.
Well, to take a new direction. You know, we have a card on our Alchemist game called the Weather Vane, and we're actually sitting under the weather vane that's on our house right now. It's right
Wow.
above us. So the journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath your feet, as the Chinese say.
I hear you. And I know as much as the world needs yet another deck, being on the show, I'm thinking about creating a deck but I see all the photos I have of the stars though are of stars. They're not really of people. So I really don't know how it would.
You can do that. You can do all the different nebula.
Sunset, sunrises. You got the whole natural.
Yeah,
thing.
you might as well.
It's a look up. It's a look up deck.
Listen, Amy and I started, our first deck came out in 1988. And look, we feel like what hath God wrought?
We created monsters.
Because now everybody's got a deck of cards. It's pretty amazing.
Why not?
All right. Well, there you go. I have the photos. I just Diane's here now. She can be let in.
Where is she?
She just came in. She's coming in.
Hey, Joyce.
There's Diane.
There's Diane.
There's Diane. Make sure the recording's on. Make sure it's backed up, please.
It's on. It's recording. Where are you? It's recording.
Okay.
Nice hat.
Oh yeah. Wow. Yes.
Diane, you're the most upbeat Capricorn I ever met.
Oh my God. You know, the heavy lifting entailed in doing that alone is exhausting. It's exhausting for me. And I have Leo in my South node, right? Aquarius in my North node. So, you know, I'm just like, it is not, if I wouldn't wish this on anyone. I just wouldn't wish this on anybody.
Ask the overburdened oracles.
Exactly. Carrying the weight of the world. I'm sorry I'm late, you guys. I couldn't figure out how to work the thingy after I've been off my computer for 2 weeks.
That's
Oh
it.
wow. Good for you.
I
being
know
offline.
We're always relearning and catching up.
Hey, Marty. It's so great to see everybody.
It is.
We're,
It is.
So excited.
we're into 2 screens and we haven't even started.
It's a new year.
A
Is
new
it?
year,
Is
a
it?
new beginning. It is. It better be.
According to the Gregorian calendar, it is, but
Uh-oh. I hear
Just
a
remember,
button there.
no one's ever going to want the good old days of 2020.
yeah, right? Boy,
then-
the way Glenn Miller played.
It gave us lots of
No,
opportunities.
but I think the Roaring 20s ahead of us is going to be exciting and fun. So
Yeah.
As long as they want to wear sparkly clothes.
Hold on.
And buy them at Buy Amy's Clothes.
Make an announcement that they have to.
are they Lauren, you talking? I can't hear you. So if you're
Oh, see, isn't that nice?
Joyce.
I was going to
Joyce,
say to you that it
Joyce.
is 12:32, and maybe we should officially start.
Oh, we could start, but we should also tell people before we start to put their questions in the chat.
I did in
Oh.
the chat, but that's okay. Go ahead.
I hope you guys have good New Year questions.
Yeah.
We all have stuff we want to change, want to manifest, want to dream, make real.
And burn.
We want to move into this new year with power.
Yes. We have
Power,
three
okay.
books coming out. One of them is a deck.
Only 3?
Yeah, it was the
I know.
pandemic. What can I say?
Cutting back this year?
We're cutting back.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, talk to us next year when we don't have any books coming out. We probably will, though.
Careful.
Yeah, really careful what you
Careful
don't
what
wish for.
Right. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to mute everybody, and I'm going to ask you to put your questions in the chat. Remember, they're not going to be answered in order. They will be answered as we do. We just randomize it. The other thing is that there will be a point where we're going to cut off questions, or at least make a line so that I know that we get through this much of it. And at that point, we'll ask our oracles to go into their lightning round so that we can try to get everybody's in. The other thing is, here at the oracles, at Ask the Oracles, it's very, very important for you to have your picture on, not your picture, yourself on, your video on, because the oracles can't really answer a question to a letter or a name. So if that's not possible for you, then please don't
Ask a
please don't
question.
ask a question, because we're not going to be able to answer it. And it's really not okay to stay off into your question unless you're working, and then you can drop me a note. The other thing is, if you're here on a telephone, which we might still have one person, we really need you to change your phone number to your name, so that maybe you're here on the phone because you can't get internet access somewhere else, which I understand. But if you're here as a phone number enough is not enough information. If you can chat, you can send me your name in the chat, and that's fine. But otherwise, we're going to have to not keep you, because we need to know everybody who's in the room. Understood? We're good?
Thank you, producer Lauren.
Oh, and Dana, your hand is up for a question for right now. Let me just ask.
Wasn't me.
No. 1 second.
Lauren, thank you for everything you do, and thank you to Harry, and thank you, Jeff, for this has meant so much to us. I guess we've been doing it since August, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's such a
It's
wonderful
been
way to
amazing.
connect. We look forward to it every week, and thank you everyone who comes every week to see us, and welcome to all of our new friends.
Yes, welcome to
Well, we're all
everyone.
glad everybody's here. Just 1 second before we start. Dana, was there a question about something else that's going on, or you
I
wanted
think
to ask
she had
a
a
question of
question
the
for the
oracles?
oracles, Lauren. She emailed me before. I'm sure I told her to put it in the chat.
Even if you sent it
And
to
I just
Jeff,
did.
you have to put it in the chat. That's
Yeah.
the most important thing. There's a problem with Zoom that we all found that we see. And the problem is Zoom has this default that says, send your questions to Jeff, but they're not talking about the questions for the oracles. They're talking about questions about Zoom. If you read the paragraph before, it says, don't email your questions. Please put them in the chat. So it needs to be live in real time, because we don't want questions for people who aren't here and all of this other stuff. So with that said, I'm going to stop talking.
Okay, so mute everyone else.
Am
And,
I on right now, guys?
and you're
We're
ready.
starting in a minute.
Harry's going to mute us.
Okay.
Hi, it's Jeff Pulver, and if it's Mondays, it's time for Ask the Oracles. And I'm going to head over to East Hampton and give a shout out to Amy and Monty and check in and say, how are you doing? How was your New Year's so far?
Hi, Jeff. It was good. We're sailing into 2021 with new projects, and we really took the opportunity during last year to write new books and come up with new ideas. And I did a lot of art for the Wild Goddess Oracle. It's coming out.
Whoa.
Actually, it doesn't come out till September. We're just finishing up the book. And that's how we work here. I make art, Monty writes books, and we've kept the energy good and positive and taking good care of ourselves. And
I finished up my 12-week astrology class. I created 12 astrologers, like the 12 apostles. No, there was a lot more than 12, actually.
Well
Yeah,
done.
Diane, actually, our guest today, is one of them. She can now read a chart like nobody's business.
and you
It
go in.
was amazing. It was Monty, you are a natural, and you are a national treasure. I've told you this before, and I really freaking mean it. That class was everything. And I laughed harder that was like also a comedy show. Like, you are so funny.
Yeah, I
And
can't do it
entertaining.
without making things funny. And Joyce was a member, and I thought I saw Marty was a member, and I thought I saw
You had
Lexi.
about 30 students, and
Yeah.
you're going into the next level.
Yeah, so that was basically how to read a chart, the planet signs and houses, and we're starting a new course, which is aspects, the angles, and transits, which is how to do predictions. So
In
that's
relationships.
and relationships for Valentine's Day.
We put it in the chat, all the links for that.
And so if anyone wants to become an astrologer, the 12 weeks were recorded, and we had a lot of people who never showed up for the class. They just watched them on video. So and like Diane, thank you for saying it. They were funny. I had a lot of fun.
It was
Diane,
really fun.
one time somebody asked me, is he always that funny? I said, yes, every day.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He has abs of steel. She laughs so hard. She's laughing all day. She's got abs of steel.
she does.
Now you have to be.
Right. When I used to perform as a musician, before I'd go out on stage, Amy would say to me, be funny.
I go, be funny. He hated that so much.
It's like the hardest thing in the world for someone to tell you, be funny. Oh God, let's see, am I funny? Or
He hated it, but I didn't stop.
so,
So be funny.
I'll be funny today. I swear I will. Don't beat me.
When does your next classes start, Monty?
February 1st.
February 1st. And because like tonight I'm going to go into withdrawal because it was every Monday was Ask the Oracles. And then at night was the class.
Oh, wow.
Best day of the
Yes.
week.
Yeah. So how are things with you, Jeff, and Pulver EDU and all that kind of stuff?
Pulver EDU wrapped up its first month of business in December. I'm very happy. We had we forecasted we'd have 100 students join us, and we had 100 students join us. So that worked out well. And we learned a lot, particularly about just-in-time education. I guess the idea that people can show up and have instant access to knowledge is it was live, interactive, and it was fun. And we're currently planning our January, February, and March schedule. I actually added 11 classes during that time frame for me on Tuesdays. I realized only right before airtime that I'm doing a series called Conversations with Jeff, and I have topics for each week, and it's actually going to be a lot of fun. And we're actively looking for subject matter experts. When I did the math, and I realized, it's one thing to understand there are 168 hours in a week, and my father always reminded me about the 4.3 weeks per month that we have. So when I did that math, I ended up with approximately 722 hours in a month. And so to ask somebody to take an hour out of their 722 to either learn something new or to teach and perhaps inspire someone and change their life, who's in? And so we're just actively looking for people who want to learn or want to teach to visit pulveredu.com and drop by and apply. And it's been awe-inspiring. It's one thing to talk about what's possible. The other thing is to experience the classes. And we have been very blessed with people who are passionate in teaching what they know. And it's just been engaging. And I will redo a class. I gave a class called How Not to Pitch Your Early Stage Startup. I did that in December, and it was pretty popular. So I am going to give that class again, even though it doesn't really exactly fit in to the more mindful set of classes that I decided I needed to teach in the first quarter. So
Yeah, but that class alone is worth $1,000 or more. It's worth $10,000 to people who are pitching $1 million idea.
Yeah, and it's only $20. I mean, the whole thing is every class at our school is $20 for the hour. And while I may engage in premium content, I mean, if there's Amazon and Amazon Prime, I had this idea that we could have premium content in the future, but just playing catch up on. And unfortunately, our producer Lauren has the burden of scheduling every class, and right now we are very short-staffed, so things take there are a lot of manual processes, which we appreciate. It's just they're different rituals that we were building, some to reduce the burden and also to grow. And it's what I actually wrote down in the pitch for my class, Monty. It's $20 to join in a conversation, and it's $500 for an individual session. So it's I figured not that I expect anyone to sign up for an individual session, but if they do, fine. but $20 to take the class, why not? And so,
Well, listen, I think that's a great thing
It's a
because
good introduction,
it
right?
is. And like when we were talking about the astrology class, I never had so much fun, but the fun time was when it was live and when we were actually
Right.
talking to people. That's what makes it so much. That's what makes Zoom so valuable and makes 2020 almost worth the horror of 2020.
You know,
Yeah.
I had this big takeaway, and I'm not going to discard any of the horror or any of the pain or any of the bad stuff, but to wake up in 2021 with a connected world where we all understand that we now in some ways are more closer to our friends and our family than ever before.
And
If we
appreciate
choose
them.
never to be alone, we don't ever have to be alone, at least from from an energy perspective. We may be isolated, but and the other thing which I will also mention because it was fun is on Thursdays, out of the blue, I had this inspiration to start hosting a live music show, and I called it Grafton Street TV, which we spoke about when I was at your place, and the name of this make believe coffee house is called Jeff's Place. And what was remarkable about Thursday was it was New Year's Eve. It was really for us New Year's Eve into the afternoon into the evening, and we had on that show we went 4.5 hours. We had 120 people who came in, and the average person stayed 134 minutes,
Wow.
which is like crazy. And it felt so good to host and to actually bring the music together. And we have a genre of different types of performers. We had live from Ireland and Canada and the United States, and but it felt good. And so besides Ask the Oracles on Mondays, my other most favorite thing I look forward to is this coffee house that I'm doing because I never know what's going to happen. It's become, and we're listening. You know, we're not American Idol or America's Got Talent, but we got talented people.
Oh, you're
who
not
are-
kidding. As a matter of fact, we have our first repeat guest oracle, Diane Ferraro.
Yay! Be careful of her energy, though. It is awe-inspiring and super.
It really is. It really is. So she's our first repeat guest, and we couldn't be more proud of her and more happy for her.
And super excited to co-host. Thank you for coming back to the stage.
Thank you so much for having me back. I mean, Amy and Monty were my first tarot teachers, so it's like I get all the feels inside when I think about being here. It's really a joy.
Well,
Diane, what's your chart like? I forget. What's your
It's a
rising?
shit show, Amy. It's an absolute shit show.
Wait, they're looking to you for advice, Diane.
It's a horror show. I'll show it to you.
all right. And then she left, and we never saw her again. We
Yeah,
asked the wrong
exactly.
question.
And the screen went dark.
Right.
These are all my notes, but we can start out as we know now. We could do, Saturn in the first house.
Look at that girl go!
Yeah,
Yay!
baby. Yeah, baby. Saturn in the first house. I've got my sun in the 9th house in Capricorn, which, as we already talked about, is a disaster area.
It is not.
He doesn't
It's a little
teach.
much.
He doesn't teach like that. You embrace your.
No. This is my personal angst, and
Well, you know what they say in the military: embrace the suck.
that's exactly right. And I came up with a little saying towards the end of the year, and it said, "This is basically through what you taught us, Monty. It's not about what's wrong with you. It's all about what's strong with you."
Love that. Did I
Love
say that?
Wow.
I
I didn't say that. That's
this
you.
This is what I did, but this is what you taught us. You taught us to focus on how to make whatever your God or goddess given, traits
Yeah.
are,
Yes.
and use them to your benefit.
Yes.
It's not a doomsday thing,
No.
it's not a doomsday thing. But it is as a practical natured person, it is important to know what you're working with,
This is true.
Absolutely. And also when we do oracle readings and work with the tarot, you try to see the strengths how you can overcome challenges and difficulties. And
That's right.
it really helps. All that helps to know astrology and the tarot. I wonder how many people are into the tarot or into astrology.
Well, there's a lot of
Not
us.
enough.
Not enough. Right. We got to sell more books.
Well, Amy, I actually think there's a category of people, I call them trans-spiritual, people that are spiritual on the outside that haven't come out to say to the world they're spiritual, but yet they're thinking about it. They just don't know necessarily how to express themselves.
Wow,
yet.
they're in the closet.
We had that happen a lot since my first book, Karma Cards, came out in 1988. This is its latest iteration. It's been in continuous print since then.
I guess this is an older iteration.
Yes.
That's the previous one. Yeah.
Some
and
people's favorite, they prefer.
they prefer that yellow color. What can I say? But we just keep going. But we have had people say that to us since 1988. I had my grandmother come to me on the day of her death, but I can't tell anybody. You're the only person I ever told this
Or
to.
what about when they say, this is going to sound weird, but
And I'm like, this is going to sound weird to me. Or the purple haired one sitting next to me. I don't think so. Try again.
All right, I think we need to start answering questions, or
Okay.
we're gonna run out
Right.
of time.
okay.
Just saying, but it is. I love catching up with you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah, let's
I'm
do
going to
it.
use the Enchanted Tarot as usual.
And Jeff's going to use the Creativity Oracle.
I am, yes, and me myself and sometimes just not look at all and just respond.
Right. And I'm going to do some psychic stuff or the Karma Cards, believe it or not. And Diane uses all kinds of different decks, which is really cool.
What do you got this week?
I'm going to use all 50 of my decks. And today I've got a little bit of I'm a Taurus rising, right, Monty? What happens? All the things. I
You
need
feel
all the
like-
things to feel safe and secure. So
Yes.
I have my walls of tarot decks. And today I'm going to use, if God help me, Jesus, is the Mary L. Tarot, which is quite a
that's-
doozy.
Our publisher said that's a successful deck. I've never seen that.
Oh God, is it something else? So it's a doozy. So may the forces be with me, and I'll be using some other things. We'll see what the hell happens. And then I think when I get a timing question, I always like to refer to Monty's karma cards, because I feel astrology speaks much better for me personally than the tarot. I like
Good
time
point.
Well,
frames with
timing. Yeah,
astrology,
timing. And that's the
General.
hardest thing.
generally,
Shoot, Lauren.
Okay, everybody, here we
All
go.
right, you ready?
Yeah.
Pam is
Ready.
up first.
Born ready.
I'm going to leave on Thursday for a very, very long road trip, maybe up to a month. What will the oracles have to share with me in regard to the travel? I would be so grateful.
Who said it?
Ooh.
Pam. Pam, if you
Hi.
say hi, you'll pop to the
Hi.
front of their screen.
Hello.
Here's the sun card. Can you see how happy that face is?
Yeah, I got the same feeling psychically.
You're
Like
going to
this.
have a great time. Are you going to warmer weather or?
Yes, I'm going to drive from Michigan to Northern California, then go south to get back.
I think you're going to have a wonderful time.
Yeah, that's the feeling I got psychically.
Fun, actually, like joy, like the real type of joy.
And I was so surprised because I haven't heard anybody ask about travel that hasn't been associated with negativity
Yes.
in a whole
That's
year.
great.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, that was like spring comes.
Do you want to add anything, Diane?
Absolutely. So the first card I pulled from the Mary L. Are you ready for this, kids? This happens every time I'm with the two of you. It's a 5-year and it's the Hierophant.
Wow.
Okay. So the first thing I thought, who was the question from again? So I
For
can
me.
just
It's from
Right.
Pam.
Pam.
Pam, the first feeling I got essentially was, I don't know, do you have a little nervousness about this trip at all? Are you a little
Yeah, I
concerned at
think
all?
like a little tiny bit vehicularly,
Yeah.
but I feel confident. It's a good car, but
Yeah.
just in general, or snowstorms, ice storms, or also sort of like fatigue and like needing to stop and then like it not being the right place to stop. I don't know, just like that's the only.
You
I
mean
don't
the
have, like,
Bates Hotel?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
A Bates rest stop in this
Right.
case. Yeah.
So
Right.
so the Hierophant or the Hierophant is going to be the card for the year because it's 2021 and this is the 5 card. And
Okay.
incidentally, I'm going to teach a mini course on how to use the 5s in 2021 because it's a 5-year. So I'm just all about this card right now, especially just keep in mind, you know what you're going to do, darling? You're going to follow the rules. You're going to
Yeah.
follow the rules. You're going to not wait till you're below a quarter tank of gas. You're going to have a blanket in the car. You're going to have a little emergency kit. Okay. And that's not because anything bad is going to be happening. It's because you want to be prepared in advance.
Boo too.
And that's all. You're going to follow the rules and you're going to be, careful. You're going to have hand sanitizer in the car. You're going to be wearing your mask. You're going to be a good girl on this trip.
Yeah,
Do you
and
think
that,
it could also mean stay at places that are familiar, Motel 6 or whatever?
or
Sure.
Howard
Known
Johnson, which are
places.
all closed up. Don't
Sure.
stay at any Howard
Sure.
Johnsons.
anything about able, so when you're leaving your house, you're out of your comfort zone, right? So you want to make yourself as comfortable along the way as possible. If that means, thinking ahead of time where you might want to stay or making a few phone calls and all the rest of it, you're just going to prepare yourself and you're going to play by the rules. That's all, like a good old boring Capricorn myself would do.
Yeah, because the Hierophant in the tarot, Hierophant's another word for the Pope.
Right.
So it's all about tradition and doing it the traditional way, going by the book,
Don't
he holds
deviate,
the
yeah.
book, the Bible or the Quran or whatever you want to call it in his hand. So it's all, do it the way you used to do it. Go old school.
And
That's
I'll
right.
just add, Pam, that when you look back at the trip, you'll be happy you went on it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah,
I got a really good
got a
feeling.
road atlas.
There you go. And maybe get some AAA. Get a roadside
I was
assistant.
thinking that. Okay,
Get that.
AAA.
All
Yeah,
right,
that'll
we
set
gotta go to
your-
the next
there you go.
question, I think.
Thank
We're-
you.
Thank
got
you.
it.
Happy New
Have
Year.
fun. Bon voyage.
Because
Okay.
you're the only person asking about travel, and I'm sure for the next 5 months, you'll be the only person.
This question is from Dana Dolan. If
Oh,
I got
yeah?
your name.
Where is she?
Where is
She's
she?
there. You got to say hi and unmute.
Got unmuted.
Hi.
Hey, Dana.
Okay,
Hi, how
so
are
the
you?
question,
Good to see you. Well, all of you. Love
Good to
all of
see you.
you.
Dana's
So
question
anyway,
is,
listen,
am
this
I
is my-
going, oh, sorry, go
Okay,
ahead.
you say it.
Am I going to get a pass to go through my neighbor's property to legally reach mine?
That's crazy, but I heard no for some reason psychically, but let's see what the karma cards
I
have to
get the
say.
princess.
This is in France.
Oh, okay.
I get she looks French, right?
Yes.
It's a princess of pentacles.
Does it go through their garden?
No, it goes through the driveway to my house.
Huh,
It's a
because
thin
this
strip
this
of
could
land.
sometimes mean gardening.
I think you got to plant some seeds with different people to, make friends and tell them what you need to do. It's not like you're going to come blasting in there with telling them off or anything.
Yeah, because I psychically heard no, and this is the no card in the karma cards that came up on top of the deck. It says, remember, reconsider, now is not the time. So maybe it's a timing issue.
Maybe you have to make friends first.
Right.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
Okay.
What are
And
you
it's
going to
very important that I get this permission to close on the house. I can't buy the house unless I get this permission.
I understand. What do you get, Diane?
And I'm a little confused about the whole situation, to be honest with you, because I have 7 of discs reversed. So can you why can't, what do you need? What is the problem? What's the hang up? You can't get to your own.
There's in order to access my house by the driveway or by foot, there is a thin strip of land across that driveway, that road.
And
it
running
belongs to
vertical
someone
to your
else.
path?
Pardon me?
It's running vertical to your horizontal path, to your
Right, like a
path or
T, like a T, yeah,
You've got
to
a
my
T
house.
cross in
So
your
you
path?
have to cross it in order to get to my house.
That's crazy.
And it's owned by somebody, so we have to get permission from that
Wow.
somebody for me to actually buy my house.
And is there a problem? Are they giving you what for?
They don't even know where he is.
They're
Ah,
not giving you access. Well, that is crazy. I for what it's worth, pitch, sacred space, and courage. So,
Oh,
well, it is
oh.
a sacred space she's trying
no,
to get
it
to.
is. And she
yes,
literally
and
has to
courage
pitch.
I
and-
need. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
So I think you gotta do
Right.
the
I
but
also think in her pitch to get it, she has to say, I understand this is your
right.
sacred
no, but she said
space.
they don't even know where the guy is.
Well,
But
when she has a chance to.
make friends with the local notary. They're incredibly powerful in France.
I have a notary. I have one. And
Yeah.
she's working on this.
Yeah, because
She's working on
I
this.
think Monty's right. The default answer is no. It's gonna getting to yes is gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard these situations in France
Yeah,
from other friends about property weirdness and old laws and all
I
that.
mean, title searches in Europe are amazing because they go back like 500 years.
I know that's what this popped up in a title search the night before I was supposed to close.
Well, you're lucky you didn't close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
a-
if I did close without that permission, it would be impossible for me to sell my house if
That's
I needed
correct.
to.
yeah.
So,
Ma-
yeah, so it's very important. All right,
Sorry.
your input has been terrific, and I am making friends. And you know what, Monty, I'm going to write another little nice note, a nudgy nice note.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a note there.
Yeah.
Hi, do you think you could hurry up on this?
You
You're
know?
so wonderful.
It's a,
Yes.
it's a new year, and how about a new ruling?
Marty has her hand raised.
Good luck.
Wait,
Thank you,
Marty has
guys.
something to-
Thank you.
Wait,
Oh,
I
boy.
got a really quick hit when Amy was talking that you should sit down with your higher self and his higher self and ask what you should do, what is needed.
You mean like
And
a voice
say, you know-
dialogue thing?
Yeah, they could do a dialogue. If you just, it's very easy to do. You just ask your higher self, not the part of you of that we all want what we want, but that you just sit quietly and ask his higher self to come and have a conversation with your higher self. And I think that will give you the answer you need.
Maybe he'll tell you where he is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It'll be, because there'll be a way of reaching him and bringing it to his consciousness without being forceful. Because I feel that obviously this person is, anyway, I don't want to get into all that, but just higher self to higher self, you know, and say, could you please know that I mean no harm. I would just like to be able to get to my home.
Good
Oh,
idea.
thank you. Thank you so
Yep,
much.
yep.
Thank
Thank you for letting me bop in.
Of course.
Anytime. All right, this question is from Melinda.
Melinda,
Linda.
My question is there a special person in my life that I should be especially aware of for good or bad?
what an interesting question.
You answered, good question.
Where's
I
Bernie?
know you're good.
Okay, I picked from my new wild goddess.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
I got the escapist.
Ooh.
The escapist. So the escapist is somebody that you should be aware of. Maybe you know who it is. Somebody who might have an addiction, somebody who doesn't want to face some real stuff that's going on.
And this is the last card because it's number 52.
Wow. Do you feel it's a woman or a man? I know both.
Well, these are wild goddesses, so maybe it's a man who's like a wild goddess.
Wow.
It sort of looks androgynous.
Okay.
Amy did 52 of these things.
Wow.
Be funny.
I can't do anything funny about that.
Pretty wild.
So it's somebody who's trying to get out of their stuff. Anyone else get hits on that? Oracles? Oh, fellow oracles?
What do you get that she needs to be aware of? I mean, a person, you asked about a person, right?
Yeah.
Not a cat named Smokey.
Yeah,
Definitely fits this bill.
So I pulled the magician, Melinda.
Ah,
Yeah. So what this sort of indicates for me is that you probably are, a powerful person yourself, and birds of a feather flock together, right? So if you're surrounded by other powerful people, there's always the potential for someone to go above and beyond the call of duty, either for ill or for good, right? So I would say more importantly, bring it back to your own sense of capability and being able to handle the situation. Because the truth of the matter is, if somebody lets you down or someone betrays you or someone surprises you, all of that is out of your control. But I would say maybe hone in on your ability to handle whatever may come your way with all of your faculties. So in other words, I wouldn't worry too much about what's coming down the pike for you. I'd say more practice, start, strengthening, flexing your muscles and really building yourself up so that if it happens, you're ready. You're ready to be pleasantly surprised, or you're ready to deal with a fallout.
And just to add on that, I would just add to beware that it's probably more than one, but deal with the one that has the attachments inside you, attached to you, because that's where the trouble lies right now. But there's more than one. But control what you can control, because they basically attach to you. You're not attached to them at all, and just let go of them, let go of that, and you'll be in a much stronger position to control what happens.
Sounds good.
does that all make sense, Melinda?
I have to think about it more because it's a lot to digest.
Yes.
But it will make sense. Whenever you give me advice, it always makes sense, but it might take me a little bit of time to digest it. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, they
I
hit
know.
the nail on the head. You do
There was
great.
there was a lot coming through there.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Great. Tanis is next. There you go. Hi, Tanis's question is, what changes are coming in my personal life this year, if any?
Okay.
Time frame, the entire year, 6 months. What is there a time frame for it?
Well, let's look at the first, 6 months would be good.
Oh, good.
I get the lovers. The lovers is about a choice. So sometimes I think you're going to be attracted to this and that at the same time. And should I pick this or should I pick that? And because they both look good, or there's three things that look good, it's going to be, you're going to think you have to decide. Those are the hardest decisions when everything looks good, right?
Yeah, and
It's not a bad thing.
I got the Sun card, which is a very positive card. So it's like act like a leader. Or like a boss, as they say. Nowadays.
Stepping into my power. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like a Bosch if you're watching the advertising on television.
I love Bosch.
No, not the TV show.
Oh.
The appliance company.
Oh,
So my 3-word message is, you figure this one out. It's success, obstacles, and limits.
Wow.
I know what that means.
Shoot.
Well, success comes when you can overcome the obstacles and limits.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Diane, did you get any hit on that particularly?
Yeah, these are powerful pulls today. Another major arcana.
I know. And don't you feel that energy? It's like,
Yeah,
there's a lot we will have to learn this year.
totally. It's coming right out of the top. The Hermit, which is actually one of my favorite cards of the deck because that's me. Taryn, it's always, it's never a bad idea to just, listen to your intuition and trust yourself, and if you're feeling like, I'm feeling like your question is related to like your own, is it personal growth? Is it something along the lines of trying to bolster yourself and strengthen yourself and kind of advance yourself in a personal way? Because if that's the case, then the Hermit is a really good anchor for you. And you can even put that card on your desk and remember to always come back to yourself. I would minimize distractions. I would minimize doom scrolling, and I would minimize trying to figure out what the hell is going to happen next. Because as we learned in 2020, right? We don't know until it happens. And when you're hit with it, that's when you deal with it. So yes, we can do our best. We can kind of like see some things that are coming down the pike, but 2020 surprised the hell out of all of us. So now that we're going through that post-traumatic stress, try to come back to center, and I would just minimize your distractions. And that's like whatever your distractions may be. But escapism and trying to escape where you are would probably not be the medicine. The medicine is to minimize and keep it simple. Keep it simple, sweetheart.
I love that. Deal with it when you're hit with it.
That's right. Yeah. And then that's why you go to, that's why you build yourself up, right? So that when it does come,
Yes.
you're prepared. It's like you want to have a toolbox ready so that you can go into, it's not always going to be the same medicine that's the one for you in the moment, but the bigger your toolbox or the more honed in you are, your skill set, you'll be able to deal with it. Just trust yourself, Taryn. Don't worry too much. That's coming from a king warrior over here. I worry about everything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Our next question today is from Bernie.
Bernie, happy
Bernie.
New Year, Bernie.
Hey,
Hi,
how you
Bernie.
doing?
Different woods.
Yeah,
So,
spring.
yeah.
I want spring.
I like that. My quest for today, should I divine through spirit or by the energies of those folks, places, and artifacts around me?
You mean hold something and talk to your spirit guides?
You mean you're talking about psychometry?
Yeah, whether almost like when you do water divining, right? If you're looking for water, you'd use 2 rods versus card.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's just I'm wandering, and I'm looking for a focus to target.
You're looking for the best tool for you, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I heard cards are no, which is, I can't believe I'm actually saying that because I just lost a sale. But-
Oh, by the way, I can't buy your stuff from here from Canada. It won't ship up here. You only ship in the US.
Well, that's us.
That's us, but of course you can get it on Amazon.
Amazon and all those
Barnes
other people. So it's just us because we've had so much problems with Canadian customs. I'm sorry about that, but
They can be that way.
yeah,
I get the Emperor. What kind of tool does the Emperor use?
the emperor is the boss of bosses in the
Anyhow,
tarot.
I also got a pendulum. Did you ever try a pendulum, which is like dowsing?
It is. It's
A little bit. I haven't explored it yet. Maybe I should.
Yeah, I mean, it's very direct. It's like you find a pendulum made out of the stone or configuration that you like that appeals to you.
you
You can
might
keep it in your pocket. You know, guys
You-
always have something in the pocket.
you might find that you can find the Truth Fairy up there, which is a pendulum dowsing kit.
Yes, we happen to have designed.
We
the
happen to
pendulum.
have designed one along the way. You know, one of the breadcrumbs we've left for people to follow after us.
The pendulum I designed, you can put a question in it, or you can put a vitamin in it, or you can, you know, people use them when you go to the grocery store, if you should buy this or that. I do it with, I call it my Ouija finger. This is like my first tool where I pick on the map or I pick on a list, and people actually call to talk to my Ouija finger.
Right. Or the people from France call it the Luigi finger. They
Sounds
do.
Italian.
It does sound
Do you
Italian.
guys have anything to add for Bernie's finding his tool?
Bernie, I have the 6 of Cups reversed for you. And if I'm not mistaken, the last time we spoke, you were talking about emotions and maybe not being able to tap into them so much as you'd like to. Am I right about remembering that?
That's a
Yeah, that's a good memory.
Okay, so again, it might be, since I'm wondering if it's reversed, I'm wondering if our homework from last time, if anything, changed in terms of you feeling into your heart space, feeling into your emotions.
I've picked up on certain things, different topics, and I'm finding parallel streams coming together. So someone's talking about essential oils, someone's talking about ritual, and I'm realizing a lot of these things when they come together as a. I'm going to take too much time to explain this. Anyhow, I see things coming in together, and there's a kind of an interlock. So I'm just trying to figure out the tool best to carry on that piece.
So you are a super cerebral person. That is your mind is the wisdom center of your body. That's where you are. I can hear it. I can feel it. Like everything you're saying, it's like you process everything through your mind. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It's also, if you need a break, you can also do something like, just, putting your hand on your heart and listening to your heartbeat and take a breath, or, pick up some, 6 of Cups. Do you have any pets in the house, or do you have any?
Oh yeah, you have 8 finches, 2 dogs.
Okay.
Fish.
Okay, so the card of nostalgia, comes back to your inner child, right? So you could be with your animals, you can be, that's another conversation you can have is with your animal friends. They have a lot of wisdom to share with you, as Zane can attest. Zane's busy right now. He's doing another Zoom meeting with Jeff Bezos, and sorry he couldn't be here today. But your animal kindred spirits, your familiar, are very powerful.
Okay.
Intuitive.
That was great, Diane. That card also means to have fun. So whatever you pick, you should be able to play with it and enjoy it that way. It's not too serious. I think also what you were saying, Diane, is to have a toolbox, and God knows we do.
The whole house is
You got oils, you got the crystals, you got, everything you need. And depending on what mood you're in, you don't have to pick just one,
Right.
because, things change, or things are appropriate for different things when you want to take a bath with the oils, and, have it all available.
Eat something good from your cookbooks.
Yep.
I've been eating well. That's not a problem.
Good. Good.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right,
Great.
that's great. Just as a note, Pam also got the 6 of Cups. She was just letting us know.
Cool.
Oh, good.
Awesome. Double trouble.
This is for Joyce. Joyce would like, please pick a card for me for my highest good now.
Okay.
You got
like-
it, Joyce.
We like that question.
Yeah.
Joyce, you're ready to move. You're ready to go. You got your wanderlust.
the move.
kicking it.
Yeah, you're ready to travel again because we know you're someone who travels all the time.
And I know you're an Aries and we're always chomping at the bit for everything, right?
That's true. I thought maybe, you know, I kept asking you about Florida, and then I thought maybe my trip to Florida is just being here with Ask the Oracles and looking at Jeff's shirt.
You mean you're tripping on Ask the Oracle.
Armchair travel. I've got the Two of Discs for you, darling. You know, so the Two of Discs, you know, you could concentrate on something that's, you know, close to home, like a low hanging fruit, right? So it could be like cultivating things that you're really good at. You know, like, you know, and the other thing about I feel in the twos is a way of working with duality. And I would say that one thing you can take away is your ability to relate to yourself as a paradoxical creature. Okay, so that you do not, by the way, you do not have to be this or that. Okay, humans are complicated and we are a paradox, we are a mystery. So I feel like this could be telling you to embrace the fact that it doesn't mean that you don't know what you are if you don't know what you are, if that makes any sense. You know, you are a mystery. So you don't have to, you know, it's
I don't have to solve the mystery.
No, you don't have to solve the mystery because you are the mystery. And that's how boring would it be in that sense? Or you'd be a bodhisattva and you'd be helping the rest of us figure out who we are. But knowing that you're on the journey and it's an adventure, you know, it's all about like row your boat, you know, gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream, right? So it's okay to be in both worlds. So that would be my advice to you. And, you know, just again, find the things that are close to you and close to home and enjoy them.
Yeah, I was just going to add, embrace yourself. Be who you really are. Yeah. Sometimes you have to look outside to realize you're inside with yourself, but you just have to be reminded of that.
And Diane was talking about bodhisattva. That's a spirit that's come into this world to help us all reach enlightenment. And I think in the Aquarian age, which is all about humanity and each of us is now, I guess we could call ourselves no bodhisattvas because you don't have to be famous to be a bodhisattva.
That's very Aquarian, yes.
Yeah, so that's the goal now is to be a no bodhisattva and just be the best person you could be and be yourself fully. You don't have, we don't all have to be Mick Jagger or Deepak Chopra.
You can let that one go, Joyce.
Yeah.
Right. No more rock and roll for you.
I'd be miserable without rock and roll.
Well, not on stage.
Well, might I say that I did tune into Jeff's place on New Year's Eve day, and it was unbelievable. It was
music.
Thank you.
So great. And you were your loving self, Jeff, that you always are.
He
and everyone
is.
was so open. You know what I mean? It was fabulous.
Thank
Great.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lauren, you're muted.
Welcome.
Sorry.
Changing the world one Zoom at a time.
Right, that's right. Andrea has a question. But Andrea, I don't see you, but you're there. So this is what it says. I had a dream of an ex-boyfriend as if I was back in that time period.
You're back. No more poems. Gotcha.
Oh,
I liked your poem.
Your poem was awesome. So what's the question, love?
Basically, what I forgot to write because I sent it too soon was right after that was I have a recurring dream about certain things, but this boyfriend, this was weird, an ex-boyfriend, but I was in that time period. And every time that dream appears, within a few days, I have asked, what is my true purpose on this planet? For some reason, that's related. Don't know why.
So what's the question?
What is
basically, I don't know how that relates, but basically my question is, what is my true purpose on this planet besides writing you guys poems?
Oh, I like that.
That's a good purpose.
While you were talking, a card fell from my deck and it said recycle.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So giving new life to things that have existed before, but weren't appreciated.
I get the 10 of Pentacles, which is one of the best cards in the deck, and it means protection, and it means making your dream and protecting your heritage. So I don't know if that's something from your family, something that it's up to you to be the one that protects it.
Yeah, that means making something that lasts and survives the test of time. So it's like what Amy does with her art. I mean, she takes things, fabrics and papers and recycles them and gives them new life.
It ties in with Jeff's, yeah.
Yeah, it ties in with exactly with what Jeff said. What do you get, Diane, our special guest?
So, you know, I have the 3 of Swords and it's reversed, and I'll turn it upright for you guys so you can really see it. But Mary L, this is what's so very interesting about your question, I feel. And the reason why this card came up is because Mary L, well, actually it's Marie White is the author. Marie White describes this card's image coming up after a dream she had about, I believe, an eagle turning into a dove, or the other way around. So this card was inspired by the author's dream. So I'm thinking that it has something to do with the fact that your dream work is probably something where you work things out. I mean, we all work things out through our dreams, right? So maybe you want to have a pad and paper next to your bed and you want to do free association writing. As a poet, less editing, honey, less editing, just free write. And if you don't share it, you don't share it. But I think there's a lot of gold. And coming back to the recycling, there's a lot of gold in your memory bank, in your emotional memory bank. So, you know, you said it's an ex-boyfriend. I hope it was a good parting, but if there's any heartbreak there, you know, heartbreak is very good fertilizer. And you can learn a lot because it's so shitty. But you can learn a lot from going
Another
through
bumper sticker.
You know, and you can really grow from that. So, you know, is there any such thing as a happy poet? Was Anne Sexton, Sylvia Plath? I mean, should I go on? There is a tremendous amount of great, there's so much learning that humanity can gain from people who are willing to expose their suffering. Now,
well, the dream was kind of sexual, but I didn't want to write that in the chat. So,
Good.
but it was weird.
We don't need that. No.
Right.
Okay.
We don't do sexual here on Ask the Oracle.
We have to
No, that's only
Sexual.
You've got to sign up for Amanti's astrology class for the live sex show.
That's true.
Wait, what are those cards? What are the name of your cards you're using?
This is called the Mary L Tarot. Mary
you.
L. It's Mary -EL
Is that
TARO.
from,
Nice.
Schiffer?
Yeah.
It's from our the publisher of some of our books, from Schiffer Publishing. They have a red feather imprint. They actually did the creativity kit.
Yes.
And
Yep.
the Enchanted Love Tarot.
And the Enchanted Love Tarot.
Oh, amazing. Oh,
Wow.
see?
What can I say?
Birds of a feather flock together.
Well,
Exactly.
I love you guys and thank you for your time.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
We love doing this. Are you kidding? This show is awesome. I love watching it myself.
I know. I feel like I should pay somebody for
I
this.
love this show.
Hey, I love this show. I feel like I should be paying for this. You know what I mean? Gladly.
You'll get your invoice at the regular time,
Thank you.
Diane.
Thank God.
You know, Capricorns have such a good sense of humor.
They
right?
do. Well, Mercury and Capricorn.
We say it's a wry sense of humor.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like my British humor. Anything that has to do with, you know,
Falling down on your face.
falling down on your face for everyone to see.
Lauren, how are we doing with the questions and how are we doing on the answers?
This is from Marty. What type of marketing for the Beechwood office?
Oh, okay.
But
Very
marketing for
specific.
the Beechwood office.
I hear TV,
TV?
Yeah.
Video.
like video marketing,
I get the Ace of Swords, so it's something new that you haven't tried before.
and swords are about ideas. So and one point, it's like a one-pointed thing.
It could be a butterfly. See all the butterflies?
Can you do like
you have a logo?
local television with a logo?
God, we have to jam pack these answers. It's like
Well, we got
2021 is like giving us.
Yeah, the break time's
Making
over.
us-
Everybody back on your head.
Exactly.
You know that joke?
Well, we do.
Yes, you do. 2020 was break time. Now it's time to get back to work.
Yeah, and Marty and I got direct. I don't know. It was the TV to me is too broad, but maybe in your market it's fine. But I was feeling the word direct as the answer to your question.
Like directly marketing to say psychiatrists in that
direct,
area.
yeah, it's like one-to-one marketing in mass. It's like but
Okay.
directly doing it in a way that you haven't. Do it in a way that you thought about but actually haven't done before, but to actually do it.
Yeah.
And it might be via TV for all I know. Maybe there's a TV that only your market gets or receives.
Well, there are some of the health professionals have TV in the office with closed circuit advertising on it. I know the ENT place out here. So
and it's a captive audience.
And it's a captive audience of people waiting to see a doctor.
It might be very well be that. It's just if you could identify your audience, it's like I always would tell people, don't advertise on the Super Bowl if you're trying to get to your next door neighbor. Just knock on your next door neighbor's house and say hello.
Yeah.
So if you could identify the market, just anyway, direct. So yeah, I think that
Okay.
Yeah, and the ace of swords is very one-pointed, so it'd be very direct.
But you're in Aquarius. We're going into Jupiter in Aquarius conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, which is the age of Aquarius. So anything with these new kinds of communication, it's just going to get more and more and more.
And there's going to be plenty of people after 2020 who need your services.
Oh God, yes. Mental health services, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
You're right about that. Yeah. What'd you get, Diane?
Well, it's seeming to all come to one single point, with that, because it says, this is my Sacred Creators deck from Chris Ann. And you got, basically it lines up with the Magician card in the Tarot, and it's You Are Magic. And the card number is 1. And so I think what Jeff was saying too about, I think you're the marketing magic, Marty. I think you're the marketing magic. I think as a trust agent, if people trust you, you're a trust agent. That's what's going to make people believe in the quality of what you're offering. I think it comes down to you. It's not some, special gimmick or anything. It's how to share that this is coming from you. It's almost like an endorsement, if you will, so that I would say, as Jeff was saying, knock on the doors of the people who trust you and just get the word out by word of mouth would be my take away from the collective reading here.
God, this show's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Good.
You're welcome.
Lauren, your mic, please, Lauren.
Our next question today is Dana DeGoes. Will my card be released from the police impound this week?
Oh,
I heard yes.
yeah. Well, I get the Chariot.
I
That's
think
pretty
you should give
specific.
them maybe you should give them a call if this card came up. They might be releasing it now, because the Chariot is like think of the Chariot race in Ben-Hur. It's action.
Yeah.
Also, it's her Chariot.
Yeah, it's your Chariot for real. That's you driving out of the impound lot.
Wow.
Fantastical, baby.
All right, so go call. Go call.
Seriously, I think when you get that card. Say again?
Am I unmuted?
Yes.
Yes.
Will it be free of charge, as Sergeant Zachary had basically told me? He said, I'll help. Because I had 2 polarity officers. The one that pulled me over was for expired registration, and he was actually, I call him the bulldog.
Oh, that's not bad.
I had no.
Yeah, well, first of all, you only get one question, but second of all, as coming from a police family, expired registration, it's not like drunk driving. So I think they'd be more inclined to give it to you. But call them now. I think that card is fast.
Will it be free of charge, as he promised? To
get
it out?
Question.
One question, because we got other people waiting.
Yeah. Nothing's free in this world that I know of.
Yeah, and I got 10 of swords, and it's not to scare you, but it seems like maybe the whole situation, was sort of
a nightmare.
Yeah, one of those things like culminating. I don't know the details of how your car got impounded or what happened, what the reason was for it, but it's almost like the 10 of Swords can be like a really hard lesson to digest. So I think and it can also have, it can also have something to do with the resulting anxiety. So I would say, err on the side of caution, and in case there is going to be a charge for it, just make sure that you have the money to make sure you have the money to cover it, all the practical things
Be
that you can do
prepared.
with your mind, because that's this is mental constructs. So you want to be able to just get your mind prepared for maybe another disappointment. Maybe
Like maybe they did something to it in the impound, they cracked a window or there's a flat tire or something like that, but get it out of there as fast as you
Get
can.
rid of it. Yeah, go there and go get it.
Move it out of there, but and then just prepare yourself mentally for whatever that might entail.
Right.
I am prepared, and I was in the hospital and called the sergeant and let him know, but oddly enough, he never got the message he said, and I was planning on going there tomorrow again, and he just basically had he wanted me to go ahead and let it be towed because the other officer was very upset the day before Thanksgiving there. But I think it was all meant to be because the car in front of me was about to turn onto the freeway on the wrong way of traffic. And
Yeah,
I was honking.
it might have saved your life.
Yeah.
We
got to answer some more questions.
Yeah, Lauren,
Donna.
we're coming up to the half hour
you.
before. How are we doing on questions and answers? And you're not.
Okay, well, I need to
There you are.
I need to get at least 3 in before you do the lightning round.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So this one is from Elizabeth. What must I let go, sacrifice that I love in order to move forward? Did I get it right, Elizabeth?
Whoa.
Wait a minute. Why do you have to let go of anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who says you have to let go of anything?
Elizabeth,
Well,
you're
Give her a chance. She's going to explain.
So I do the I Ching cards every once in a while. And so I asked what advice can help me the most for 2021? And the answer I got was something you dearly love must be sacrificed. You cannot feel it now, but supreme good fortune, progress, and prosperity will result.
You know what this is like if you go on a date with somebody new and you talk about somebody that you already dated?
Okay.
So forget that.
Yeah, forget the I Ching. The thing you have to sacrifice is using those fucking cards. Because they don't know what they're talking about.
We all know that Monty and Amy never did an I Ching. So, that's
okay.
No.
Now I know.
Listen,
I don't
I have the
understand.
I Ching. I've used the I Ching. I love the I Ching.
But you don't bring it up when you're talking to a new date.
Right, but there's that. But there's also the thing is that you have to listen to what's inside your heart. And if you don't have anything that you want to get rid of, fuck the I Ching.
100%.
And the turtle shell it wrote in on.
This is down and dirty divination.
No, but it's true, right, Elizabeth? If when you heard that, if nothing resonated with you, the message was not for you.
Right. And the I Ching originally was done by reading the cracks in a turtle shell. And anything that has to kill an animal to do divination, I'm not a fan. I like the yarrow sticks, but if I get any, sometimes you get an answer, you just gotta say, you know what, you're wrong, and you got to go ahead.
So I pulled a card.
Oh.
So what advice can I get?
That's from Diane Ferraro's new deck. Fuck the I Ching.
It's so direct.
It's
a red feather. It's a red feather imprint.
Right. It's the NWA label.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I know, right? Poor Lauren. Elizabeth, she's like, really, you guys?
We just want to give you a message.
And then the police from Dana's question will be very happy that we're not saying fuck the police. We're saying fuck the I Ching.
Okay, I get the healer card, and the hope card, and the star card. It's all good. That's like
healing.
That's like the beautiful feeling in the air after a storm, which we've been through the storm in 2020. So this is your message for 2021. It's healing. It's better. There's rays of hope all around.
Yeah, I'll give you a message that I heard while you were asking the question, which wasn't the answer, which was to embrace your light and just to be who you are.
Well, that's the same thing. That's the same
I get that. I just wanted to, but
you seem fine.
Yeah.
I hope I'm okay.
No,
No.
you definitely do. I mean, you look like, you're definitely on the Oracle show because we're all oracles here. Everybody in the
That's
audience
right.
too.
And don't forget, fuck the I Ching.
Fuck the I
I like
Ching.
All right,
that.
all right. I learned a
wonderful
lesson.
deck.
That's the #1 card in Diane's new deck.
DM me to purchase. All right.
Wow.
So, Elizabeth, I pulled judgment reversed, but I'm just going to show you judgment upright because judgment is, for this, it's an opportunity. And honestly, like, I hear where you're coming from, and I got great advice years ago from a friend. I was trying to make a decision, Elizabeth, and she's like, you know what, Di, you lose either way. I'm like, oh my God. This is what I appreciate. This is the advice I appreciate. You lose either way. Meaning that this is going to happen. Things that we love, stuff that we're attached to, all of this stuff is part of life, and that cycle is not something we're used to dealing with. We're not used to grief. When there's no good grief, like support, there's really, and believe me, I need it, but there's really nothing out there to hold our culture together when things go wrong. So judgment is an opportunity for you to just say, listen, it's not about perfection. It's about being the best person. I think someone said this already. It's about being the best person that you can possibly be. And that is the reward. And there's no one, and this is, don't be so, I have a friend that's like, don't be so judgy. Why you're so judgy? It's about accepting yourself and knowing that there's nothing you need to do to prove yourself to anybody, right? So that you can just live a happy life and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. All it matters is about how you feel, what you're doing, if you feel like you're doing your best, if you're living your best life. And, of course, being kind to our neighbors and all the rest of it, like, my boyfriend Jesus says. But
Everybody, that's why we have her on twice, because her boyfriend is
These
Jesus.
people, everybody that's getting these answers, you're getting a whole handful.
Yes.
I'll just mention, I did pull just to humor myself, Elizabeth. It's evolve, growth, and free associate.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love your three card way of doing it.
It's a sentence. It's a part of a sentence. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it is. It's very karma cardish.
Yeah, I took your creativity deck and turned it into a karma cardish.
That's what we wanted to. We want people to be creative with the cards.
Yeah. And Elizabeth, Laura, I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but anybody with hair like that is really doing fine.
Right.
And she is joining us from Estonia, by the way.
Cool. And as far as I'm concerned, anybody with hair has got it all going on. And you don't have to wear a hat like me.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you.
You're
welcome.
This question is from Mary. I'm going to launch my podcast in the spring. I would like to know if I should use a name other than my own legal name. I had a strong instinct about this, concerned about unwanted attention.
Well, that's
Mary Hess.
That's conflicting right there, because if you want the attention to the show, but you don't want attention, so that's a conflict right there. I'm a great believer in putting your name on stuff, because you in a way you are the product. And if you want people to remember one thing, you want them to remember your name.
You are the brand. I mean, the reason why they would tune in is because of you. So it's there are ways to protect yourself separate from the fact of using your name as a brand to promote what it is that you want to do. And so
yeah, you got to get the website. Like I have montyfarber.com and all the other things. So you should get that right away.
You have an easy name to remember too.
Yeah, it's good.
That's true. Well, I am a woman who lives alone also in a remote place.
Well, do you have well, it's time to get a shotgun.
I get the four. I get the Four of Wands, which is
it's great.
It's protected. It's grateful. It's somehow there's protection in the way you're going to promote it.
This is a great card.
So you don't have to. People don't have to know that you live alone. We didn't know.
Right.
Somehow the way. Now we all know.
Right. I'll just throw in Mary. I actually went through an iteration in 2020 where I came out with a show and I fought everything to actually not name it with my name. and I ultimately fell into using my own name. But if you look in the history of talk shows on television, ultimately almost every major successful show is branded by the person who's hosting it. It's just that's the way it's been.
Yeah, like the Steve Allen, Jack
Steve
Parr,
Allen, Mike Douglas. You go down the list. Carol, everyone seemed to.
Carol Burnett show.
Well, it could be Mary and friends, or Mary has some friends, so that they don't know that you're by yourself.
What is your, I'm sorry, but if you don't mind sharing, what is the concern about branding and having your personal, your security be at risk? Is it that you're going to be?
I would just have to explain that it's a feeling of being vulnerable.
Well, then don't do it. I mean, then call it something else. Definitely go by your feelings.
Don't go. Yeah.
Yeah, don't listen to me. Listen to you.
If you feel it and you have the answer.
Well, okay. I'm clairaudient, and I got in my ear my father saying, "What? You're ashamed of your name now?" So you get the idea.
Oh, now are you going to be disclosing information on the podcast where you feel like your personal security is going to be at risk, or?
No, it's just, this is something I'm just going to have to work out. But it's really helpful hearing what you're saying, because I think it's just being perhaps overly worried and spending too much time by myself, maybe.
Yeah.
It could be, because where we live, nobody gives a damn. I don't know if it's just where we live or what, but Amy and I have been putting out books since 1988. Walk down the street. Oh, hi. Nobody cares.
I spent a long time in academia. It makes you very paranoid about your reputation.
Ah, academia. Talk
the
about
the ivory tower itself, right?
Yeah, talk about the swamp.
A message in the chat: embrace your authenticity.
Yeah. Wow. Nice.
I have from the Sacred Creators Oracle, I have find your sacred flow, Mary. So like, if you feel like there's something that, if you feel like there's something blocking you from being seen, I think it might be about you being seen and allowing yourself to be seen. The reason I asked you about the content of the podcast is because there's a little bit of oversharing these days. Like everybody that's going through trauma or healing, they're broadcasting it across the world, and they're like, and now this and now that. And it's like, right? And it's like, everybody knows. It's like, I had a loose stool this morning. Everybody knows that there's a trauma going on. Here's the thing.
Shit happens.
Well done, Jen. And get yourself a hat like all of us.
That would be the clip they narrow down on Letterman, that part of the movie. So, Mary, the thing is that I asked about the content because here's the difference. You can go, if your podcast has anything to do with your healing process, you can still share your journey without sharing all of the details, right? You don't have to overshare. That's what I'm getting to. But I think, and I wholly believe this, that there is something very healing about allowing yourself to be seen and authentic. And keep in mind that you can passcode your work. You can passcode your blog. You can passcode your podcast. I believe you can make it specific. You can get it. Okay, I'm just putting that out there that you don't.
Yeah, make them register. Make them register, right?
Yes, exactly.
Lauren's an expert.
Right. So you can have control over what is seen and what isn't seen with slowly stepping out of your comfort zone and that paranoia you talk about, so that you can start to heal from that, because I think it would be beautiful for you to be seen.
Well, sometimes introverts, they want to do it, but they hold back because they're introverts.
Right.
So there's that push and pull. I know I can do it, but do I really want to?
Yeah, the little podcast that could.
This is not my first podcast, and I know that it's something I'm very comfortable doing. It's just that you're absolutely right on this, Diane, because this is personal and it will reveal parts of myself. But and you know what you're talking about doing it in a way that is comfortable for me. And by the way, thank you for the advice you gave me last time. I have the 3 of Swords on my altar right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
girl.
Wow.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, girl. That's a very protective card. You get it, girl. You get it.
Our next question today, before the lightning round, is from Allison. When is the best time in February for submitting my book proposal?
The 16th is what I heard.
That was fast.
Jesus, that was
Yay.
specific.
Oh, happy birthday, Lauren, in advance. Way in advance. Wait, who asked that question?
Allison?
Allison.
Right here,
I heard the 16th.
I go with Monty. He's
I
good
go with
that.
Monty.
16.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not foo-fooing around with that. The Lord has spoken.
Yeah.
Either that or the psychotic has spoken.
Okay, so I think it's a good day too because it's my birthday. So you know.
Right.
Is that
Lightning,
correct?
lightning round. Yeah, that's
Lightning
it.
round. How many
So
questions, Lauren?
lightning round means only one oracle gets to answer a question.
We've never done that.
Up for the
No,
lightning.
Ask the rebellious oracles.
Okay,
How many questions, Lauren?
there's 6.
All right. Let's do
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
No, no, yes, no, and yes.
Maybe.
Thank you for coming.
Maybe.
You're very funny. Here we go.
Okay.
This is from Diane T. What words or thoughts does my father who has passed share with me?
I passed to Monty.
Well,
He's trying.
I'll come back to that. Do another one. I'll be thinking
Yeah,
about
he's-
that.
You got it. All right.
Susan.
This one's from Susan. Monty had found earlier that I had some blocks to wealth with money.
Guys,
Hi
Hello.
there. And money just arrived with more coming this week. I'm concerned that I still may have the blocks and cause loss.
Oh, Susan.
And happily able to benefit from this gain, or do I need to do something more to prosper well?
Go, Diane.
Okay. Wow. Okay, I got 8 of Swords. But 8 of Swords was reversed. But you know, I'm willing to be flexible on this. I just think it has something to do with watch your steps. You know, just take it carefully and take it slow. But also, if there is momentum, trust the flow of the momentum, but don't get caught up. Speed kills, right? So don't get caught up in anything where you don't feel like you still have your agency. Keep your agency intact at all times.
I got the Hermit to go with that, which is the same kind of thing. Be contemplative. Don't rush into anything. You don't have to make quick decisions. You know, all the answers will come to you if you're quiet and walk your own path. You don't have to do it like anyone else either.
All right.
Okay, Diane, I kept seeing, you were asking about your father. I kept seeing him showing you embracing. And I know that's so trite. But and nowadays, because of the COVID, nobody's been embracing each other. And so I don't know if he's trying to tell you that you need hugs or you need to give hugs.
Or he's giving her a hug.
Or he's, of course, giving you a hug. But I hate to do stuff like that because that's so trite. But if you had been on the verge of making a big decision, by him showing me you embracing it, he's saying, go for it. He's not showing me you pulling back from it. So that's the message. That I don't know exactly what's going on in your life, but it's like you embracing life and embracing this decision you're going to make. Should you do it or shouldn't you do it? Yes. Okay. That's what I
Nice.
got.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry.
Next is Lexi.
Lexi, another student from the astrology class.
Not another
Woman can read your chart.
Yay. My husband has 3 business prospects in sight. Do we continue to focus on all 3 or narrow our energy to 1 or 2 in particular?
I hear all 3. Since this is a lightning round.
There you
I
go.
don't. Yeah. I think one's going to emerge, but I think you should do all 3.
Alrighty, thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
All right. Here. Oh, and there's a card there too.
3 of Wands.
It is very pretty. This is from Elaine. Should I commit to this mastermind with Molly, even though it's expensive? Or is it that I can do it on my own with VA, which will be less money?
Mastermind. Well, I get the High Priestess, which is really follow your gut feeling for this. So I think you can do it on your own. I think you got the gift.
Thank you. That's the sense I was getting listening to all the other things too. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Next is Michelle. She would
Oh,
love-
Michelle.
I would love a general reading for my husband's birthday. Capricorn Sun, Virgo Moon, Gemini Rising.
Oh,
Money time.
Ace of Pentacles. He's gonna get. He's gonna get rewarded, or you're gonna reward him. You know, but everyone wants that card.
Yeah, this is the gold card, or nowadays it's the black card.
Michelle uses karma cards all the time on Instagram.
Oh yeah, I've got them.
Oh, you're so nice. I really do appreciate what you
I'd
do.
like to see you on Instagram though. That's just.
Oh,
Thank you, Susan.
I'm a domestic violence survivor, so I don't put my pictures anywhere.
I figured there must have been a reason.
Yeah.
Right, I'll give you 3 words. It's patience, manifestation, and introspection.
Okay.
Again, you could figure out what that's supposed to mean. I'm just giving you 3 words.
That's for her husband.
Yes.
Manifestation goes with the Ace of Pentacles, right?
Yes,
It does.
definitely.
And just have a little bit of patience, and I guess look inside.
Okay, great.
I mean, I'm not interpreting. I'm just pulling.
Right. And of course, all our free readings come with money back guarantees, as we always say.
Excellent. All right. So the last question of the day is
We wish it could go on forever.
But it will next Monday.
Okay.
Silvana. Did I get your name right, Silvana?
You did. Thank you.
Okay. So it's about a dream. Last night, there was an intense dream of a high-rise building crumbling completely into the ocean and watching it incredulously while my sister was non-pulsed.
Nonplussed. In other words, she didn't give a shit.
Right. Same dream, found myself completely constipated and unable to go to the bathroom. There were several bathrooms in places I didn't know, and no matter what, I couldn't pass. Ideas about what it means?
That's awesome. I just like that dream just on its face.
It's so weird because I get the tower, which is what you were describing.
Yeah, that's a building falling into the sea for sure.
Wow. Wow.
So something is breaking. Something has to be released, which goes with the bathroom part of it. And it's really speaking to you, that dream.
You know, people who do colonics for a living say that you should get a colonic when the change of season happens, which it just did when Capricorn started. So, and sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, as
Groucho Marx.
Not Groucho.
It wasn't Groucho Marx?
No, it was Carl Jung.
Oh,
the other comedian. Yeah. We're doing our George Burns and Gracie Allen routine.
God.
Well done. Well played.
Well,
Thank you.
Silvana, I hope that helps. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes it just means get a colonic.
It's always the dream people. and
Michelle
I'm afraid-
says it was Freud.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my turn to be Gracie.
It doesn't sound like Carl Jung. It does sound like Groucho Marx.
It does sound like Groucho Marx. No, that's from I like my cigar, but I take it out once in a while.
It sounds a little like Bill Clinton too.
Oh God.
Yes.
But no politics here.
No
That's
politics
right,
and
that's
no
right.
health questions. No sex.
No laughing and no talking.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh well, it's been fun.
Yes, Jeffrey, you know that Groucho Marx incident, right? He got
Yeah.
taken off the air for that. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well,
You never
if it's
said it was
Monday,
going to be a clean show.
Well, Diane, we wanted you to have this recorded for you to share with
I
everybody.
forgot.
Thank you.
yeah, of course, you got the
Thank
only one
you.
with foul references we've ever done.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Recorded.
I seem to have that effect on people.
All right, I want to thank you, Diane. Thank my
Yay,
Amy,
Diane.
Diane,
Thank all the
thank you so
questions. Thank
much.
Lauren, Harry. Thank you, and we'll be back next Monday. If it's Mondays, it's Ask the Oracles. Please come back. Bring your friends. We're here. We start at 12:30 Eastern on Mondays, and we'll see you next week.
Oh,
Our friend George Curry is going to join us.
George Curry, he's a magician as well as
He
all
was
the
a
other
clown
and a
Oh, wow.
clown.
with Ringling Brothers.
Yeah, for real.
Wow.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.